Okay, it's almost 12:30 in the afternoon now on this Friday, and normally my lunchtime would be around 10 or 10:30 in the morning, but that big steak that I had, that steak and eggs, was so filling that I'm just starting to get hungry now, past lunchtime here, so I'm going to go ahead and make my sauteed mushrooms. By the way, that steak was absolutely delicious. It came out probably a little bit more on the rare side, but it was delicious and very good. So I'm about to make my mushrooms. I've got Grandma's cast iron skillet all seasoned up. We got some oil in there because we're going to be sauteing up these mushrooms. So a main ingredient for sauteed mushrooms is going to be demi-glace. And this is my version of demi-glace. Actually, I do know how to make demi-glace. I've made it before. So let me explain exactly what that is. So demi-glace is something that you'll find in most fine dining restaurants. It's a very powerful brown sauce, a French sauce, and it's used to enhance a lot of things. I made demi-glace from scratch at some point when I was working for the corporation. This would have been around 95, 96, 97 when I was the dining room cook there. But after that, I started making it. I went to first cook and lead cook and actually sous chef without having the title. And making the production was part of my job there for a number of years. So demi-glace is like I said, it's a really good, complicated sauce to make. The recipe that we had was a 36-hour, so from start to finish until you put it in the refrigerator is 36 hours. It's a veal bone demi-glace that we made. There's just a lot of processes to it. It got a lot of garlic. It got red wine, and tomato paste, quite a bit of tomato paste, so it's kind of a tomatoey sauce. So the closest thing I could come to it is a package of this classic brown gravy mix by Knorr. This is what I use when I make brown gravy, or when I need brown gravy for mashed potatoes or something. So I've already made that, so we need to keep that hot. It's not going to be the same thing, but I'm going to try to make this today and see if it comes out pretty decently. So this is what I bought for mushrooms this morning at Winco. These are whole baby Bella mushrooms. They also had the crimini mushrooms, which look exactly the same. I don't remember which ones that we actually used to make our mushroom saute appetizer. So I just went ahead and bought these. The criminis that they had were all loose in a box, and people had picked through them, and they were kind of beat up in different sizes. So this is what I'm going to use. So the thing I'll need to do is start cutting those up. Alright, so my pan cooled down, but I'm ready to start putting these in here. I'm just going to lay them down face first, or the flat side first. Shouldn't take too long for these to saute them up. And if I remember right, we cooked over open flame, of course, at the kitchen there, and they cooked pretty quick. You just want to brown them, and then at some point I'm going to add some minced garlic and let that cook in there a little bit. And then when that's done, we'll transfer them to another pot. Another pan, I should say. Already smelling these cooking. This is what they smelled like when they were cooking there on the job. They had a very distinctive smell. But anyway, that's just about the whole batch right there. Need to throw a few of them away. That's going to be plenty. I'm not even going to eat that many today. So we might have to add some more oil. And instead of adding any peanut oil or anything else, I'm going to add some butter to these, because butter always makes things taste just a little bit better, doesn't it? Alright, I've let this sit here and cook for about 4 minutes. with the lid on it, and you can see how much water come out of those things. I probably shouldn't have had the lid on them. So I'm going to let it sit here a little bit longer without the lid, and so we can get rid of a lot of that water before we start adding some garlic. And I would also, when I was making this for real, I would add, we had a mixture of herbs that I would add with the garlic, and then we'd saute it up some more, and then we would add the demi-glace to it and let it cook for a little bit. So once I get the garlic in there sauteed up, I'm going to move it to this pan. I don't want to add that beef gravy to my cast iron. But anytime you do that, especially something that's tomato based, it will start to damage the seasoning. So, all right, well, continuing on. Okay, these are coming along pretty nicely now. I think I'm going to add my garlic. All right, I'll saute that garlic up for just a little bit. These are coming out really nice. They should be kind of brown. My pan is going to need to be re-seasoned after this. Just a little bit longer, just to barely let that garlic start to cook. We can turn our heat quite a bit down, farther down. The garlic's starting to cook. So now we want to get it all into that stainless steel pot. Okay, there we go. I hate having grease all over my stove at any time. Okay, that's not going to take long to come up. And at work, I would be doing this in aluminum saute pans. So you'd be doing this and be grease everywhere here. I'm glad I don't have any of those. I don't have any aluminum pans because I do not like aluminum because it seeps. It doesn't do you any good. All right, there we go. Put about that much demi-glace in there. And before I would have put that demi-glace in, I would have flambéed this over open flame with red wine. And I don't have any red wine, and I'm not planning to buy any. But that's what's kind of missing, and that will definitely give it a pretty nice flavor, the red wine would. There we go. We'll just kind of bring this up to temperature. Just let that cook in there just a little bit. And that's about the amount that we would be giving them. We had bigger, I don't remember, I'm trying to remember. Did we have bigger mushrooms? And did we have them or did we quarter them? I'm glad that I only half these. I was considered quartering them, but I did not, so. I would say that's good right there. So let's get this out of here. That's cooled down enough. I can just let that sit there and simmer. I turn the heat off, let that simmer just a little bit, and then we'll dish this up a bowl. I don't think I'm going to eat all those. This is getting kind of close to dinner. So this is truly going to be an appetizer. Alright, I was doing some dishes. Well, these just sat here for a little bit. Yeah, this is going to be good. I'm going to dish up a little bit of this. Probably about half of it. And then a little bit later on, I'll make my entree tonight, which is going to be a sloppy joe. So that's it's kind of funky. Normally this appetizer would be served with some kind of a fine dining item, such as you know, a mixed grill, steaks, chops, ribs, all kinds of specials, pastas. I had one pasta in particular that I want to make here at home. It was one of my best-selling pastas while I was the fine dining cook there. That was a Cajun linguine, and with mushroom, tomato, onion, and Cajun seasoning, blackened chicken, I'm sorry, It got a blackened chicken, and it also got blackened 1620 prawns. I'm not going to make the prawns because I don't like fish at all, but I will make the Cajun linguine just like we made it there. It got garlic and herbs, and it was pretty spicy, but it was really good, and it was my best selling pasta while I was there. So anyway, we'll give this a shot and come back with an update a little bit later on. Well, those mushrooms were good. They were really good. I think I could have ate that whole batch. I could definitely tell the difference between the brown gravy and the demi-glace. It was missing the tomato flavor and the red wine flavor, but that could probably be fixed if I wanted to spend some time trying to develop something here at home. And now, unfortunately, I gotta do dishes. That's the worst part of the whole thing. Enjoyed this video? Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.